Hey everybody, I'm Norris. It is Friday, May 18th, and are you worried about corporate rental landlords? That and much more as we cover the biggest headlines in real estate. Don't miss the radio show and podcast this week. I continue with the second interview with Dr. Robin Zazio. She's, of course, one of the therapists on the hit show Hoarders. This week we talk a little bit more about giving the disorder a name, and if you're negotiating with somebody that has a disorder, maybe how to make it a little bit easy on them and yourself to get through the process to get what you need done. That on the radio show and podcast. The National Association of Home Builders reported builder confidence increased to 70 in May. HUD and the Commerce Department reported a 30.7% decrease in housing production, although it continues to be at a post-recession high. Zillow says homeowners and renters are expected to spend $40 billion in tax savings because of the new tax changes in 2018 on home repairs and upgrading into bigger places. Strong income growth is keeping affordability in California at 31%, and that's up from 29% in the fourth quarter of 2017, so that's good news. And mortgage rates increased again. 30-year rates now stand at 4.61%, and 15-year rates are at 4.08%. Despite a larger year-over-year increase in departures, arriving trucks still account for 50.3% of all one-way U-Haul traffic in Texas to maintain its status as the top net gain state. Texas secured the #1 growth ranking for 2016 after settling for just the number 39 spot in all of 2015, so that's a big trend, and we can find that in the Migration Trends Report from U-Haul, which I always love checking out. While migration trends do not correlate directly to population economic growth, sure is good as a real estate investor to check that out once in a while. If you haven't done it, you basically take one spot, say Sacramento, and test how much that trip costs going to different cities like Dallas or Nashville, Tennessee, and then check out what the cost is going back from those different cities back directly to Sacramento. The theory being, when it's more expensive one way, it means that more people are leaving than coming in because they have to pay somebody to take that truck and drive it back empty. Ever wonder why avocado toast is synonymous with millennials? That joke has been flying around and I just never understood it. So it started all with Australian millionaire developer Tim Gurner, who was being interviewed by 60 Minutes in Australia. Tim is from Melbourne and the 5th least affordable housing market in the world, according to the 14th annual Demographia International Housing Affordability Survey. Well, in Melbourne, people pay upwards of 10 times their annual income to purchase a home. In the interview, he stated, "When I was trying to buy my first home, I wasn't buying smashed avocados for $19 and 4 coffees at $4 each. Of course, the internet got a hold of this, and the rest is millennial avocado toast meme history." Our friends over at John Burns Real Estate Consulting says household formation trends from 2006 to 2016 have changed, and in some ways significantly. 15% of 36-year-olds are living with parents and relatives, and that's up 5% from back in 2006. Furthermore, 50% of 26-year-olds are heading households, and back in 2006, 50% of 24-year-olds headed households. So we're 2 years later now. And probably the most stark change was home ownership is delayed by 5 years. Home ownership reaches 50% by the age of 36 compared to 2006 when it was just 31 years old. So 5 years delay in housing formation in home ownership, that's a big difference. A new Zillow analyst says home buyers with low credit score pay an extra $21,000 in mortgage costs. The better the score, the better the interest rate. That's no surprise, but when you're talking about really hot market like coastal California, for example, the difference between someone with a fair credit score and an excellent credit score can add up to almost $100,000 in extra cost if it's at a much different rate. A third of all buyers said determining how much a home they could actually afford was one of the biggest challenges in the buying process, and it's no wonder because depending on your credit score, that can change a lot. I hear buyer agents all the time stressed about getting their first-time buyers through the process and actually into a home. And you know by this time you've seen a ton of homes and you're getting beat out by iBuyers and all-cash buyers. It's a mess, right? Well, meet Ribbon. The startup qualifies buyers like a lender would, but it backs the consumer up with a version of sort of like the all-cash offer. They charge 1.9% of the purchase price. An appraisal is done on the property, and the purchase price has to be between $100,000 and $600,000, and they're testing this in certain markets. They're not everywhere just yet. Ribbon can even rent the property back to the homeowner until they can actually get financing. So this is really interesting to help these consumers and first-time buyers compete. Finally, during the Great Recession, single-family homes became a magnet for corporate landlords. The two biggest are Innovation Homes and American Homes for Rent. Corporate landlords these days, they own something around 200,000 units, and depending on who you talk to, that number varies, but that's out of 14 million rental units that make up the single-family rental market. So mom-and-pop investors, of course, still make up the vast majority of the rental market. As a whole, they are unlikely to affect the housing market. However, they bought in very specific areas, and sometimes they own quite a few. And even politicians are saying things like, should one of these companies decide to pull out of the market or neighborhood by selling these homes, it could lead to destabilization. So here in the Inland Empire, Sacramento, there are locations in Florida, in Texas. I'm curious to know what you think. Are you worried about them selling? I've always heard that they have very different models and they're not necessarily interested in ever selling these homes, but love to hear what you have to say. If you're on YouTube, please leave a comment below and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a beat. If you're on Facebook, please don't forget to not only like the Norris Group page, but don't forget to add us to your See First list and with notifications on. Leave your comments below the video. And if we missed something, share the story on our comment sections on either YouTube or Facebook, and we'll make sure to include it on our blog at the Norris Group. .com/blog. We would love to see you out and about in the next month or so. We've got lots of speaking engagements coming up starting May 23rd. Stay put or cash out with Homevestors. That's going to be in Orange County. June 7th, we've got 3 speaking engagements. Please don't get confused. Stay put or cash out we'll be doing at the San Diego Investment Club. Earlier that day, I'll be doing technology trends and effects on real estate in Temecula. And we've also got the Appraisal Institute's 21st annual Inland Empire Market Trends. Bruce is going to be their keynote speaker at lunch, so if you're an appraiser or interested in attending, non-members can attend. June 19th, this is a special event. North San Diego Real Estate Investors Association does their annual anniversary dinner. You can either attend the dinner or you can go to Just Us Talking. Bruce and I will be on a panel being interviewed by Eric Saragusa. He's on the board of NSDREI. There is a price break if you sign up early. If you'd like to go to dinner, check it out. You can go to nsdrei.org, and for those in the area, expect an email from us soon. Please mark the calendar. September 8th, we're going to be doing Cashing In on a Boom with some exciting new chapters that we're going to be taping, including vacation rentals and adding square footage, but it's going to be a little bit different than before. Can't wait to share more. And September 28th, I Survive Real Estate. Expect to hear more information coming out in June about speakers. We're finishing locking up those now. For more information on hard money lending, including fix and flip, buy and hold, and new construction in both California and Florida, check out thenorrisgroup.com. Or if you'd like more information on passive investing, just to make life easy, check out tngtrustdeeds.com or the Invest tab on thenorrisgroup.com. With that, have a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next week.